This material is made available to you by or on behalf of the University of Melbourne under Section 113P of the Copyright Act 1968. It may be subject to copyright. For more information, visit the University Copyright website.
So we are there is some discussion, internet discussion about licensing, and I think we should take one of this sort of focus on that. Hopefully, something will crash without a change. But I think there are other options. We talk about HJ and free software, which could have a look at that, because you might find that a little bit easier to use. Maybe it's sort of the industry software that's been used by a lot of hospitals. So in terms of the technology department, so we decided to teach that so that when you now go out to the hospitals and supplies or this is software companies, it is more powerful than what's needed for your assignment. Yeah, and so you know that so that you have implementation. So today, what Ruth and I is going to do is talk a bit about the term paper, because bear in mind that this 26, right? This is Friday.
Monday?
Okay, Monday. Right, you have to submit a scope of work. Okay. Now, like I say, don't panic. Okay, the scope of work is really for us to get some feedback that you are on the right track. Okay, because some of you are already emailing me and saying that, oh, is this topic suitable for the term paper? So this is where once you submit the scope of work, I'm going to give you a feedback saying that, oh yeah, fine. It could be one statement, yes, this all looks okay, it's okay, or it could be, let's talk about it. Okay, right. So this is important for you, because then you don't want to spend lots of time and then realize that you are not in the right direction. So even if there's one statement saying, yeah, go ahead, I think that's important, and I think that's the purpose. But it's more like a living document. It's almost like, because you and your partner come together and decided to look at this and say this is how we're going to do it. So it's like a living document to your partner, to say that this is what we're going to do, because then there's a getting chance. All right, so that is important. Now, I assume all of you have already. Okay, yeah. Is there something you say? Okay, if not, please come back to us. Now, so today's going to be purely discussion. We'll use the hour to talk about term paper, and please use this time to ask me any questions and ask Ruth as well. So we're both here to help you through this. Now, so very quickly, scope of work, right? We have sort of written here that, this is what you expected, 2-page write-up.
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
Can you please put people who are in your group, because when you do your presentations, that's how we're going to work out who is presenting, who is in what group, and then allocate your days. So your name should be on one of the ones that get submitted.
Yeah. So I know there are 3 names here, but just 2. Some of you may have, some teams may have 2. Okay, so please do that, and then propose product description, your objectives, define a starting point, task description, duration of task, and then a little bit end point. Okay. Now, so we say why do this? All right. So these are the points. I'm going to show you some examples. Okay. So and then I'll upload these examples. All right. Let me see. Let me just pull out this. Okay, this is an example way back in 2014. Okay, right. So, we'll be looking at improving. Can you see this? Okay. So basically, a very quick description of, in particular the humeral ulcer interface, which is prone to failure. Okay. And then objectives about this elbow arthroplasty, a little bit of background to define the problems, the starting point, and then task description and duration. So it says, week 4, you're going to do a scope of research, your phase 1, phase 3, and then begin 3D printing, draft term paper finalized, and then you have something like this. Okay. All right, so it's very easy, but this is important. Okay, this is really you discuss with your partner. Says this is what we're going to plan. Okay, but please don't copy this. Okay, all right, don't copy this. Oh yeah, I'm just going to do exactly. It's going to be quite simple, but similar. But just put it in your own words. Say okay, have a look at it. This is a guide. Close. Don't use this as a template. And then sit down and then discuss. All right, if it turns out to be the same, that's fine, because I'm not going to go and check, right? This is not going to be marked. But, you and your partner have to discuss, okay, who's doing what, what's going to be done, and then, the timeline that you set up. All right? Okay? So it's very, very simple. But what I will be looking at, I won't be really looking at this bit here, right? Unless it's stretched beyond week 10 and, okay, right? But I'm more interested in this first page, okay? So the first page, you must give enough description to say what you're doing. Now, I want you to be specific, okay? Don't say things like, we are interested in developing a new biomaterials. It means nothing, right? Okay, be specific about a problem, because bear in mind, you're here to solve a problem. So imagine you are like working in a company, okay? Now, and then you and your buddy has been, working on, say, hip arthroplasty. So you've been designing hip for the longest time. And then you say, oh yeah, there is a problem. So of course, one of the major problems is, if you have learned from Dale's lecture, is loosening, implant loosening. This has always been a problem, implant loosening. We're still having that problem. Okay, we want to solve that. Okay, now you have an idea, okay, right? Like I say, if, in the beginning, if there's any place that you can take risks, right, it is in class, because your idea will never be in a patient, okay, right? So if you want to take risks now, okay? So you say you have this crazy idea and that you want to prove the concept. So you are then packaging it, a proposal, to take it to, say, your board of directors or people in the company who is willing to, give you some money to go and play with this idea, right? So you have to then convince that group that this idea is a good idea, is important, and we want, your support to then take it further. So this is how you set the scene, that scenario, right? So eventually your term paper goes to somebody, right? After reading it, they feel that, yeah, it is worth funding. That kind of scene that we were trying to set here. Okay, so here is really a working document between you and your buddy to set the task and scope. But most importantly, right? Please be very specific. Okay, I'd like you to be very specific. So as specific as like, we are looking at a specific implant design. Okay, we want to modify this implant design. Very specific problem, right? Let me give you another example. Okay. So this is artificial hip joint improvement. So they want to improve the hip joint in the likelihood of dislocation. So dislocation is the main problem. Okay, so basically they want to improve the ball and socket, right? Okay, so this is the task, right? So you may not have the specific idea how to improve the ball and socket, but you identify that, okay, hip joint, all hip joint has a ball and socket joint, and you know there's this dislocation problem, right? And then the idea is that, oh, I want to, you know, solve this problem by, how do I want to solve this problem? So the problem is very specific, okay? It may not be for a specific implant type, right? Or, you know, implant design, but, oh, let's look at ball and socket. I want to make sure that, you know, it doesn't come loose. And how I'm going to do it, you know, you're going to come up with a design, okay? I'm going to upload this too, so that you can have a good example of, you know, what we're talking about. Any question here? Right, for myself. Question. The reference. Yeah. Okay, the term paper reference. I think we
Probably wasn't specified.
yeah, maybe not specified.
Was it specified there's a template for the term paper?
Yes. I'll give you the template.
No, it should be up online.
Yeah. So yes, that template is up online. So if you go to see how many subjects I got there. Okay. So, oh, why is it disappeared inside?
If you press that, click the blue bar.
Which one?
Click that. Click where the blue bar is.
Oh. Okay, let's find the report template. Yeah, I think it's. Oh, we may not have there, yeah. Okay. So referencing style is acceptable. Just look at any of them recommended.
I guess when I look at what references are, I don't mind if it's Harvard, where you put the name or you put the number. It's more what you reference. So Wikipedia, journal articles, yes. Companies, yes, particularly if they've written a particular paper. As long as the style is consistent.
Yeah. Yeah. But please, yeah, try. I mean, you know, try not to use the internet too much, like news and stuff like that. Okay, try to be a little bit more, you know, use research papers. So before I go into the detail about how you start working on it, okay. Now, so the next bit, just before I go into an example, let me just give you how you start looking at. Maybe I'll just close this. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Okay. So what you really want to do is, first of all, you want to identify a problem, right? Now, in order to identify a problem, we say to try to narrow it down to this area. Okay. It can be maxillofacial area or this, but I'm open. Okay. Now, you once you identify the problem, you really want to hunt down some research papers to basically help you say that, yeah, you know, this is a worthwhile problem. Now, so I recommend you, what you do is you do a little bit of broad sweep. Okay, I always say broad sweep. So this could be, you know, 5 or 6 papers, right? Now, okay, when I say 5 to 6 papers or even more, okay, you go into Science Direct, you know, PubMed, things like that, those databases, you know about all those databases. Assume you know, Google Scholar, right? Okay, you do say hip joint, hip loosening, or whatever, and then you've got lots of papers. You start reading the abstract, right? You start reading the abstract, and then you may hunt down, you know, 5 or 4 papers. open them up in full papers. Now, most of the time you probably end up with some review papers. That's fine, okay, review papers. So have a broad sweep. Now, okay, so from here, you will help you identify, okay, you know, the problems. And once you identify problems, you should start narrowing down, okay, to maybe 1 or 2 papers that you are interested to look at it in detail. Now, these 1 or 2 papers are usually papers that offer a solution to the problem. Okay, right? So they are offering a solution to the problem. Now, so by now you have seen the problems, and then you start looking at, you know, what are these solutions? Okay. Now, this is where it gets a little bit interesting. So the solutions could be a new type of material. Solution could be a design. Okay, the solution could be something, you know, a combination of the two, right? Okay, so now you almost have, if you think about it, you almost have, you know, a term paper topic, right? Which is a solution to a problem, okay? Which is now materials related, which is design related, okay? Now, I don't want you to stop here and say that, oh, okay, I'll write a term paper that's the same as this paper. Then there's no value in it, right? You know, okay? Now, what you need to do is then say, for example, if this solution say, oh, there's a design, right? And there's a material, say, pig, right? You know, nowadays, orthopedic, they use a lot of pig material. The solution can be maybe 3D printed, blah, 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 or maybe even magnesium or, you know, biodegradable. Nowadays, there's a lot of materials like tantalum, you know, it's being quite popular. It's thought about. So there's this stuff there, right? Okay, and then you say, okay, let's look at this material, okay, in a little bit more detail, look at this design in a little bit more detail. You will end up, okay, broadening your search again, okay, but this time you are not talking about problems. You are looking at a search for, you know, this type of solutions, right? So you may end up with, you know, another 5 to 6 papers, right? So by this time, you can imagine your references are building up to at least 10 papers, okay? So you have a lot to write about your background, okay? And you have a lot to write about methodology now, because here, right, people are talking about methods to solve these problems. So you've got quite a lot of information about methodology, okay? Now then, right, by this time, you again have to narrow down to maybe 1 to 2 papers, which you say that you can improve upon, okay? So this part here is to improve upon, all right? All right. And this is where, you know, your term paper or your novelty comes in, because there's going to be a little bit of marks for novelty, right? Now this novelty part, this improvement part, okay, you have the luxury of suggesting something that probably will never work. Okay? Alright? But don't worry about that. Okay? Don't worry about that. Okay, your job is not, I mean, in this class, you don't have to try and convince me that you will work on it. Okay, you probably get those questions during the poster, and then you have to defend, you know, why your idea is such a good idea. But that's fine, okay? You won't be penalized. Alright? But importantly, you know, I like to see this process, so that by the time you get here, you know, you have a great idea, or at least an idea that you have gone through this process, you know, polishing it. So by the time you get here, you know, the idea will be quite novel, and maybe even feasible, all right? Maybe even feasible, okay. All right? And it will be most of all exciting, not boring, because, oh, I thought about that, oh, I've seen that before. Okay, so you see what I'm trying to get at? Good. Any questions? Now, if you straight away jump here, right, after reading one paper, I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Maybe you don't take a genius to be able to spot that. Okay, right? You know, it's like boom, boom, and then you say, oh, okay, no, it won't. All right. So when I say that, you may suggest an idea that is crazy, that will never work, you know, right? But because you have to take it through that rigor, right, there's a high chance that that will be a very exciting idea. And you need to take that rigor, because if you don't, it is very obvious, okay, right? So sometimes people say, oh, no, I've done everything, why am I not it is very easy because we ask you to write, you know, the significancy of the background. And if you don't have background, it's all empty, right? And then you don't have justification. And you know, by the time you build up to, oh, this is my method, you see it very good. Tackling the disease like yeah, yeah. I mean, it could be osteoarthritis, you know, it could be fracture. Yeah. Yes, you can really do that. Yeah. ACL repair. There are different types of ACL repair technique. Right. So you say, okay, you know, 5 to 6 papers, ACL. I mean, like recently there's a lot of talk about ACL injury for kids. We won't think about it in the past. But it's quite interesting when kids have ACL injury, right? They fix them. But the chances of them having osteoarthritis and later year becomes significantly higher. So what happens is that ACL injury to children, to kids, it leads to a bigger problem. You know, people get implants at a much earlier age, and then when people get implants at a much earlier age, our implants are not designed for somebody who is 4 years old. You know, implants are designed for somebody who is 70, and then last. Now the implants last much longer, right? So the question is, are implants designed to maybe last for 30 years, 40 years? Maybe not. So that presents a new challenge.
Or even are implants designed to grow as the patient grows as well? So it's not just lasting, but it's if it's for a child's not the same size as an adult.
Yeah. So revision surgery, prosthetic problems. So there are many problems. If you look at it all through, so your 5 to 6 papers, the first 3 papers take a review paper. You know, what is a big problem around and many articles written about this, and try to narrow it down. So distribute the work, ask your buddy to, you read these 2 papers, I read these 2 papers, summarize it, and then you will converge. So I know you don't have much time, probably some of you start thinking about this, that's fine. Okay, right, have a quick read, like say the scope of work on 1 page is very general, it could be based on just 1 paper that you read, but just give it to me and I'll give you feedback, says, yeah, maybe you could think a little bit more here, take a little bit more. Any other questions? So I'm going to show you, feel free to add, so whenever you feel. Yeah.
I guess it's the other assessments that go along with this, but
Yeah. Okay, let me just.
So I guess just quickly for this, the assessments that you have to hand in, there's the term paper, then there's also a presentation, which you're going to do as a poster. So we've put on there that you will submit the poster, whatever date it's written on it's around a week before you hand in the term paper. We are doing that because we will print off your posters, and then everybody will do a poster presentation. We will tell you when your poster presentations will be. We haven't worked out when, but the other part of your presentation is you have to peer assess your peers on how they present. So I will be giving you a rubric in the form of a Google form or something along similar, and I will tell you which teams you have to assess. So there will be a criteria on what you have to assess them on. So if you know what you have to assess other people on, that is also what people are going to be assessing you on. So you'll know things that you have to cover in your presentation. So that's why we're asking you also to hand it in all together, because there are so many groups, the poster presentations will be held over around a week to a week and a half. So that there's no advantage for someone to going first or last. Everybody submits it together, and then everybody will be coming and assessing everybody else's.
The poster session is very, very interesting. I think, yeah, it gives you an experience. I mean, there are a few of us, the tutors, myself, will ask to do their question, but you know, we open it up for people to ask questions as well. So we can help each other. Prepare some questions. Now, okay, so this was one term. So you always say that, oh, you know what can we? Okay, this exercise, what can we achieve? Actually, you'd be surprised what you can achieve, right? So these students, of course, they started, you know, just like any of you, but I think I showed you in the first class the 3D printed structure for this project. So they 3D printed this and then this as well, a nice prop. So this is the biomater6, they call it the acetabulum guard, okay? I thought it was quite a nice name. So basically this is the proposal. Right, the project summary, the current situation and problems, okay, about total heat output capacity, right? So they have a good, and they talk about the significance of reducing dislocation. So that scope of work that you saw earlier is for this foam paper, okay? Now, and then they identify the problems, all right? Right, why dislocation occurs, okay? So when I read this, I can follow very easily, right? I could understand, you know, what they are trying to solve, okay? And then, you know, current dislocation prevention strategy. So how do you prevent dislocation, okay? And then their guard design. Now, I'd like you to do this. All of you should have some graph like this, because I mean, this is your design process, right? Okay, you identify the problem, you know, you design information, you use Simpleware, SolidWorks. Now, they were using Simpleware, which in this case would be using Mimics, right? 3D printing, prototyping, they talk about materials, talk about testing, and then manufacture and release. Okay, so design parameters. So they were very interested in geometry, you know, of how the head and the acetabulum cut interface, right? And then they did some simple calculations. They look at, you know, the head to neck ratio. Now, the reason why they know all this stuff is because they have read enough papers. So a lot of the, you know, strategy to solve these problems, you know, focuses on, you know, head, neck, size, and things like that. So therefore, they are able to say this. And then they look at, you know, the amount of movement that you can get, all right, okay, and then they justify with some of the design, looking at the mechanism, and then they start using, you know, Simpleware. They did SolidWorks and 3D printing. They prototype rings, sizes. They choose materials, right? And then they have choice. They justify why they choose these materials, okay? And then they look at, you know, biocompatibility. So in your class, you'll learn about, you know, looking at material biocompatibility, right? Properties, okay? And then this is important. So now you're telling your, you know, your board says, okay, I'm going to design this, but I'm going to take it through all these tests. Now, this test is important for you to put it down, but they are pretty standard tests. Okay, you will learn about, you know, ISO 10993. Then you say, oh, this is how you sterilize it. You know, this is how you do biocompatibility, sterilization, mechanical test, and then the surgical, and then the future work. All right? Okay? Even failure contingency and stuff like that. Some risk assessment is being put there as well. So this is obviously one of the better papers, right? I must say, and obviously, you know, they are really engaged. Okay, they know that. I think they sort of go a little bit beyond what I expect, but this is fantastic work. All right. Okay. So I think all of you came to that. Okay, so this is, I mean, unfortunately, you know, yeah, smart student, I mean, it's good, you know, what success breeds success, right? You know, so very successful team showed an example. Now the example is shown to you, right? You should be able to do that. Okay. Any questions around that? So it's really fairly comprehensive, but like I say, if you go through that process, you will be able to come up with this kind of interesting solutions. Right.
Ask about class provide the image
Yes. Yes.
and for format of the image will it be the city image or MRI image?
Yeah. So have you got a visible human data set? Okay. I'll try to sort that one out for you. So you will get a set of. I'll probably pass around. You can just pass it quickly. So it's a visible human data set. The visible human data set is basically MRI, CT, even slices as well.
Yeah, I know that. I have a set of that.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Did somebody give it to you?
Yeah, I get from my capstone program.
So do you want to pass that around to everyone?
I think there's a problem with those images because the resolution of those images is very low, and that causes very problematic to my program. Yeah, I think if you have any better images or
Yeah, the one that we have is pretty good. I don't know who gave you those.
David.
That was the same. It's low.
Yeah.
Okay,
Especially for the city image, I can't. Yeah. Well, I didn't work on those images.
Okay. Maybe have a look at it. Yeah, DICOM files.
Yeah, I think that file is the best one because if you want to import those JPEG images to the mix, it will be very nasty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Check. I'll ask you.
Yeah.
This is one. It can be a problem. Okay.
Because I face a problem too. At the very beginning of my project, I don't know how to import those JPEG.
Right.
Maybe it take me a while to figure out how to do this.
Okay. Okay, maybe what I'll do is I'll talk to Shakti to maybe pass those images around and then show how to import it. Now, then, okay, so there could be a problem with mimics because mimics, there are two versions of mimics. Right? One is a research version. I think you may be using the research version, which is there's only 2 licenses in that. The other one is the application version. Now, the application version, what they did is they have data set prepared for you, right? So I think there's a heap or something like that. Data set that in other words, if you want to do a project outside of heap and need, right? We have to go and find another set of data, which is visible human data set, and you may instead of using mimics, use something like ImageJ to do your construction. But ImageJ, so I encourage all of you to go and download ImageJ, right, and then play around with it. It's not difficult to use. Basically, what you are really trying to do is just reconstruct it, right?
And because ImageJ is freeware, the amount of forums online to tell you how to use it,
It's easy. Yeah. So you may want to use ImageJ rather than trying to import the images into mimics, especially if you want to have problems importing images to the education version, which is the one that we're using. But we felt it's important for you to have a go at mimics so that you know what's the industry standard. ImageJ is available free online. Try using it.
I actually downloaded, it's called Fiji, which is a version of ImageJ that already has all the plugins installed, so you don't have to go and find which plugin you want to use for your...
Yeah.
So it's the same thing, it's just that
Yeah, I haven't tried it. What's it called?
Fiji. So I just Googled Fiji ImageJ.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Imaging was developed by the NIH, so the National Institute of Health in the USA. So it's a very nice piece of software to use.
We probably can't. Yeah, I don't think we can. You can go to their website and see that usually you put in an email and request, so can I have a copy to trial, right? They will ask you which company and blah blah blah. Yeah. Yeah. And you can say you can try say so I'm a student of people patents. They will ask you, they will probably come back to me and say, get it from me. Yeah, but that's yeah, so I think for your project, see, like I say, we want to teach you how to use this for a reason. But you know, to do good image reconstruction, you can use imaging. The Matrix has a lot more function, right? You always just use it to try and look out for nasty stuff in the body. They do that. So, like I say, in fact, at this stage, you can really make use of 3D printers and things like that. So you know how to send jobs to get stuff printed, right? Hussein showed you how to do that. Okay, you pay a lot of school fees. Use it. Yeah, just start segmenting stuff, things, and then just set it and print and see what you get.
Is it similar to other unis where if you leave it to the last minute, there'll be a whole lot of jobs sort of thing? If you submit it a little bit earlier, you'll get it back quicker sort of thing?
Yeah. So bear in mind, there'll be lots of people printing towards the end of the semester, okay? Okay. So try to make good use of it. So yeah, if you second something already, just second. Yeah, so that one you have to okay. So what will happen is stuff that are printed out will have little stamps and things like that you need to get sandpaper. But yeah, you can't. Unfortunately, the university doesn't give access to students. But yeah, do you know? Are you guys friends of the folks that are okay? So there's a bunch of folks that has a lot of access to tools. There are people guys working on the race car, right? There's the race car project, right? In the package. If you have good friends there, just write about me, right? But or somebody has a home grinder or something like that. Yeah, but because of all this training. Yeah, unfortunately, they are so fearful.
But you can't just use a bit of sandpaper?
Yeah, you can.
From Bunny?
Yeah, you can. You can buy sandpaper and a little bit of sweat. Yes. But then, okay, when you send jobs to 3D print, sometimes you can even design, how you want it. I'm not sure at this point in time what is that. You just send SDL file, and they design the stand. You know how 3D printed because you need to have stands to. You can't say for example, if you want to print, say a curved structure like this, right? Okay, you need to make stuff that stands like because they're going to print, and then you're going to remove these bits here, right, by yourself. So I think they designed it for you as well.
Remember, they design the stands for you, but you have to remove yourself.
Yeah.
Try to optimize so there's the least amount of meddling around.
Yeah. And it should be quite easily removed.
I'll try and fix it with that programming and stuff.
Yes. I don't think you need to worry too much about that. Any other questions? No, I'm going to show you.
Just say there was a question.
Oh.
Question, to what extent the biomechanics do we have to consider? For example, if we design like replacement joints that can bear like a lot of pressure. Is it illegal to say that we design a stack it withstand practically anything, and like so it turns into like someone like Iron Man or something like? Is it illegal to do that? Like, do we have to consider the ethics of this?
Yeah. So when you in the real world, right? You have to. So this is in fact this what you're doing is this real estate there, because once you start looking at so you have the design, you have to then test it. So you look at the paper, it says ISO test, mechanical test. So you suggest those tests. So those tests validate the product. So in other words, you are saying that you want to do this test, not necessarily you have done that. So if you do the test and they all fail, in other words, too bad the design is failed, right? So but as you were designing it, the important point is that as you are working through the design, you have this test in the back of your mind. So when you're designing something, your intention is to pass those tests. Okay? A good example is you want to ensure that your product can go through sterilization and pass, right? So are you going to, and then you say, I'm going to use heat as a form of sterilization, right? Because it's the cheapest, right? And you're going to design something that melts, in 50 degrees Celsius, okay? So you won't pass sterilization, right? So you have that in mind. So as you're designing something, you'll be introducing materials that possibly will not. Or okay, you may introduce a material that, say for example, connecting parts. Okay, connecting parts is very tricky. Orthopedics or in stuff that you put together because you introduce stress concentration, but you also introduce little gaps and stuff like that you don't want things that go in during surgery and then complete problems, right? So you may introduce an area where it's very easy to trap infections and things like that. So there are little things like this to consider. But because you now know ISO and 993, right, you have those at the back of your mind as you work through. Yeah, so you see that a lot of designs are very simple. They're simple than that, right? And there's a reason why.
I want to build an implant, or after I have built it, we have to have the access on it.
So this is a good question. Now, any of you know what finite element analysis besides this? A little bit, yeah. So finite element analysis is a form of stress analysis, and for any object that carry load, right? Typically, engineer will perform this type of analysis to get an idea that the parts that we design will not break and things like that. Now, I don't expect you to be able to do FEA in this project. Okay, so what typically you're quite right. What typically you design it, you come to a point. You highlight a good point. Says how do you know whether this is strong enough, right? You will actually do computation simulation and stuff like that to actually So finite element analysis is one of those methods. In fact, it's probably the method that everybody uses. So every building that is set on, the cars, even the chairs, they all gone through FEA analysis and stuff like that, right? Now, so I'm happy if you want to do that. I'm not going to complain, but I would say, like say you want to do something that satisfies, make you happy. So you want to use whatever knowledge you have. Okay, please introduce them, but they're not mandatory. Okay, and then you may argue that will I get more marks out of it? Now I'm not going to say yes or no. Okay, because I think if I say yes, it's unfair for people who doesn't know FEA, right? But I like you I like to see that people are using that knowledge, right?
So it's more you're saying that if you were to actually test it, you would use that method.
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily mean you have to do it,
Yeah.
but you're demonstrating that you know what methods we would use to test it.
But I would suggest using that as your design, as the core design tool, right? Because then, I mean, a lot of time people use FEA to design something, right? You don't need to do that. Okay. But if you want to do it for giving you extra information, that's fine. But I would recommend, okay, I would recommend that if there's FEA course relevant for you to do, jump in. Okay, it is really useful and important. It's almost like it's very difficult to be a mechanical engineer or somebody who knows mechanical engineering without doing FEA. So if you have the opportunity to go for it, be a biomedical engineer, just can't squeeze everything that you do.
I've never done FEA.
And she's very successful, right? So, don't get me wrong, right?
I know what it is, but I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, I'm a bit biased, okay? I have a mechanical engineering background.
But at the same time, I would never say if that's something you will learn,
Yeah.
go ahead. Yeah.
Now I can fly through another 2-term paper for you. I think there's 1 term paper here that use FEA. Yeah, maybe.
So has this helped to make it, I guess, you now understand, if you didn't know before what was expected, you now know what is expected for the term paper? Or you already had a pretty good understanding? No?
I just, oh my goodness, what's happening? This is great.
For now, just focus on this. I get this straight and get feedback on 5 years at least more or
Yeah.
improve the work.
Yep.
So just work on that kind of 1 page,
Yep.
like short abstract.
And the scope is really there so that you're doing a little bit of work beforehand. It's not a sort of project that you can really leave to the night before.
Awesome.
Yes. So we're making sure that you're on the right track. So it's not assessed, but also the work that you do for the scope will go towards the final report. So yeah, but that's what's due on Monday.
Focus on 1 bit at a time.
Yeah. So this is on total vertebral disc replacement, right? So this alternative method for securing implant to the spinal column. So they've got this table of contents, again, current situation, problems, all right? So they showed the current design, all right? Then the proposal, so again, they show the workflow. This is the design. Look at the jagged edge and stuff like that. So they 3D printed this quite nicely. So this is the design, the rendered model. So they use SolidWorks quite nicely. So this is the spine that they took from the scans, and they incorporated their design into this. All right. And then they talk about some of the fabrication process, materials, surgical, stress shielding problems, and then future work. Right? Okay, and then one more is this one here. I think this is a dental one. So this was future dental implants optimized for natural field. Okay. Right, and then again, significance, some problems, okay, and implant failure, talk about implant failure, right, and then research design methods. So they even suggest that they want to, do some human tests to obtain information for them to design the dental implant. So this is the implant. So very interestingly, this group, I still remember very clearly, they came to class, right, and then they've got this screw, right, but this screw was 3D printed in this size. It's like a water bottle, and then they were screwing it in, and it really worked. It threaded in, and then threaded it out, but they were showing it as a display. I was so impressed, Yeah, and then so they talk about the material selection bit. This is the design. Okay. And then they talk about future tests, right? And then this is the final element model. They suggest that we should be doing FEA. Yeah. So final element model basically, they give you a stress plot. All right. Okay. So I'll upload all this online so you can have a look. But they are meant for guide. Okay, please don't. Yeah, bear in mind. It will be more. It will be really fruitful. Have a look at it, read it, close it, and then you do your work. Okay.
We're submitting it via Turnitin, so
No, and the way Turnitin is very powerful. Okay? Even as previous assignments, please don't try to cheat this. Okay. All right.
So I'll see you next class, and then we'll talk about tissue properties and stuff like that. Okay. All right. Good.